When you finally leave an abusive marriage and start telling people what happened to you behind closed doors, a lot of people won't believe you. And the worst part is, it's usually your own family. This happened to me, and I want you to know that you're not crazy, and here's what I learned. The first person I told was my mother. I showed up at her door shaking, and she rolled her eyes, told me to get inside. Not concerned, not shocked, just annoyed that another one of her kids was going to bring the D word to the family name. Then I told my oldest brother, and he said he didn't want a punch list of reasons I hated my husband, which is wild considering he has daughters and a wife who's now with him after leaving her own abusive marriage. My father kept loaning my abuser his lawnmower for like 2 years. And I finally asked him, why are you helping him after everything I told you he did to me? And he said, well, he never did anything to me. Okay. One of my aunts asked me, if it was that bad, sweetie, why did you stay? Projection at its finest, because I watched that woman stay with one of the most terrifying men that I've ever known. I used to spend the night at their house as a kid, and my uncle would scream and terrorize my cousins and run that household purely out of fear. And she stayed with him, so how dare I get divorced? Other relatives would ask me, if it was so bad, why didn't you call the cops? As if I almost didn't do that like 100 different times. And as if being in love with your abuser isn't a real thing. Those conversations were painful. And today, I don't talk to those people anymore. None of them. Because every single one of them had either abused me, minimized me, or manipulated me in some way, shape, or form long before my marriage had gone bad. Divorce doesn't just end a marriage. It exposes every toxic relationship that you've been tolerating. So you finally get to ask things like, does this person make me feel safe? Do they validate my reality? Do they make it easy to tell the truth? Or do they make me defend why I stayed? Never tolerate someone questioning your trauma. My dad and brothers physically abused me as a little girl. My mother and aunt stayed with men who terrorized their own children. So of course they projected and of course they minimized. People either project or they hate that you finally stood up for yourself, sometimes for something they used to do to you or something that they do to other people. You know what happened to you, and you don't owe anyone a courtroom performance to be believed. I believe you. People are crazy. You're doing great.